Hello, it's Charles with Uber Eats. Today is Monday, the 16th of June, 2025, and I am blessed I got the wake-up call today. Very thankful for that. Right now, it is 4:43 in the morning, and according to Google, the sunrise time today down here in southern Texas is 6:40 a.m. So we got just short of 2 hours before sunrise. And also, according to Google, it's 82 degrees right now. At least that's what the temperature was when I got up this morning. And we're looking at sunny skies all day today and the next couple days, and a high temperature of 97. So got some beautiful weather ahead of us today and the next couple days, and I'm looking forward to it. I didn't notice this on the Google weather report, but it's quite a bit breezy down here right now. There's always a little bit of a breeze, I've noticed when I'm out on deliveries and walking around, but it's I would call this gusty winds. I think it's on account of us being so close to the Gulf of America, but I checked how far the drive is to Brownsville from here, and it's more than 50 minutes, depending on traffic, of course. So we're pretty far from the ocean or the Gulf of America, but, it occurred to me, maybe it's got nothing to do with the being so close to the ocean, how far because it's so far away. And then there's also, while I'm thinking about it, there's some mornings I'll come out, mostly in the morning before sunrise. I seem to be able to smell the ocean, and I'm thinking, well, that can't be, it's just got to be in my head because the ocean's so far away. But then it wasn't yesterday, but Saturday I was listening to the radio, the AM station. I haven't been listening to that AM station for a while. I've been listening to FM down here, but the AM station was on, and they had mentioned in their weather report something about the sea breeze. So apparently, this far in from the Gulf of America, you can still smell the ocean, and the weather can be affected by the sea breeze. So it wasn't in my head. You can smell the ocean from my house. So I thought that was this is the closest I've lived to the ocean, and any of the places I lived. Of course, most of my life I've been in Columbus, Ohio. Moved out to Vegas and then Oklahoma City. Now I'm enjoying some fantastic living and weather down here in southern Texas, and I'm close to the ocean too. So a whole new experience for me recently. I'm sitting up here at a different gas station this morning, drinking my Monster Rehab tea and lemonade. It's the Refresh and Recover. I managed to find 3 more cans. I get this tea and honey, of course, and then the wild berry and the peach tea. Those 3 are the ones I like. There's 4 different kinds as far as I know. There might be more than that, but I've only ever seen the 4 kinds, and the 4th one I don't care for is the green tea. I've tried it and I decided I don't like it. I had the only other time I've had some sort of green tea was at Starbucks, and I certainly didn't like that. I don't like most of what Starbucks offers in terms of their coffees and teas and additives that they serve up there. I don't like much of their coffee unless it's a plain black coffee. Is the only coffee I'll drink at Starbucks, so I don't see the point in going there. If I want coffee, I'll go to Waffle House or a Denny's, whichever suits me and whatever's available wherever I'm living. But nonetheless, I ended up finding those 3 cans on Saturday. I had to go to 4 different places. I went to the gas station that I always go to in the morning when I fill up my tank, and they didn't have any. Then I went to that's a 7-Eleven gas station. Then I went to another 7-Eleven near the plasma center, and the buffet, because I was over that way, because that was the day I do my plasma donation. They didn't have it, and the lady there, no, No, I asked one of the managers to order. She offered to order some more cans, and that wasn't at the 7-Eleven. That was at the Zoom, XOOM. I went to a different branded gas station, the third try to find these cans, and I mentioned to her that I prefer to have a certain type of Monster drink, and she said, "Well, we don't have it, but I'll order it for you." And then I left there, and then I went to the third 7-Eleven, fourth place on my search for these cans, and I finally found the 3 cans I wanted. So I left the other 2 cans at the house, and I'll be drinking those other 2 cans on Thursday and Saturday when I do my plasma donation. While I'm thinking of it, when I refilled my tank this morning, I went to go to the gas station. They were out of gas, which that's never happened to me at this gas station. And it crossed my mind that I should get my ice there, but I was already back to my car, so I just drove across the street, and I'm glad I did for a couple reasons. The gas station that was out of gas this morning that I normally go to, whenever I bring in my own cup, they always charge me $0.25 plus tax to refill that cup of ice. Well, that's why I always keep an empty cup in my car. Well, I went over to this gas station and filled up. They were cheaper on gas. That Sunoco / 7-Eleven that was out of gas is at $2.52 a gallon. And this gas station, which is a Circle K Valero gas station, is at $2.45. So I saved money on gas, and I found out from the guy that was out here emptying trash that the ice is free here when you bring your own cup in. At least that's what he told me. If I ever see him here, I'll know I'll get ice for free. Sometimes not all the employees follow all the policies the same as from one associate to the next, but I know the nighttime guy here will let me get my ice for free if I have my own cup. So I might as well just start getting gas at this Valero gas station. It's just as close to the house, and it's not busy, and it's clean, so I don't see the downside in starting to get gas here. I'll save money in the long run. My sleep wasn't all that great last night on account of a few things. I think mostly on account of my being in this 72-hour fast. I did Friday, evening and night was fine, of course, because I had just ate that day around noon. And then Saturday was fine. Was a typical day, first day fasting. But if I'm being honest, Sunday afternoon around 2 through the evening till about 8 or 9 was quite difficult. It wasn't just on account of me not being hydrated. I had my juice that I sip on. That's a 0-calorie juice. It's not strictly 0 calorie. It's 40 calories for the whole bottle, which I don't drink the whole bottle. I can nurse that for a whole week. So I consider that a 0-calorie drink. You're allowed to drink a 50-calorie coffee, according to Sten Ekberg and Jason Fung and Pradeep Jamanadas, these 3 fasting YouTubers I follow. So I just take that to mean that anything that's less than 50 calories a day you can have and still not technically break your fast. So that's why I'm allowing myself that juice. Well, anytime I get thirsty, I take a sip of that juice. So I didn't consider myself dehydrated. Might have been low on fluids. So my biggest struggle yesterday with this 72-hour fast was just the fact that I was going through hunger pains. And then secondarily was the dehydration. I was dehydrated. And third of all, I was just bored. I think I had some boredom eating wanting to happen. So there are 3 things. That's the 3 things I struggled with my fast yesterday. I made it through, but it took all my energy and willpower not to go out and get something to eat. I was watching YouTube videos, eating contests, commercials about food, and just food was just on my mind from the afternoon into the nighttime. And it was just one of the hardest times I've had to get through in recent times with these fasts that I do, especially these rolling 48s and 72s that I started in April. Started April 1st, where I'm just eating one big meal on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I made it through, but it was just I was going nuts. I'll be sincere and honest about that. I had a couple distractions throughout the afternoon and evening, which helped. The YouTube videos I watch and commercials about food and stuff, that helps. And I watched this guy that's a competitive eater, Joel Hansen, I think his name is, and Katina. She's married to that they're two competitive eaters. I can't think of his name. Randy Sandell and Katina, they're married. I watch their YouTube videos. They're like I said, they eat massive amounts of food in short periods of time and win these t-shirts and their names up on and pictures up on the wall in the restaurants. I watch them and just cooking shows and any content I can find about food, that's, even if it's something about talking about the nutrition that's in certain foods, helps me get through these fasts especially when I'm struggling. So I had that as a distraction, and thankfully I had a couple phone calls from people that helped me get my mind off my hunger. One of my buddies that I worked with at a grocery store, I worked at this grocery store for a long time. Well, I met up with him at one of the stores I had transferred to, and even though I'm not there anymore, we've kept in contact. And he happens to live down here in Texas. He lives in Houston, and he gave me a call yesterday and gave me some bad news about some circumstance he's going through. There was a misunderstanding at his work, and they seemed to think he was marking down product that he shouldn't be marking down, and that's not even in his job description as far as I can tell. He does ordering. He does like whenever people wire in and tell the store what food they want on their order so they can just come up and pick it up. He does that job. I think it's called Click List. That's what it used to be called at this grocery store when I worked there, and it probably still is. As far as I know, he's still doing Click List, so he shouldn't be even have that as a responsibility. So the union is fighting for his job, and I told him I would pray for him that he would get his job back because he wants it back. If it were me and I was accused of something from a company that I've been working for years that I had not done anything wrong, I would just tell them to hell with you, and I'll find another job. That's my point of view. Being an older person, I'll be 50 in December. I would probably have a different point of view if I was still in my 20s or even early 30s, but at this age, I don't put up with much anymore that I used to put up with when I was a younger man. And he's not much younger than me. But I think he has the point of view about saving his job because the job market is horrible right now. It's hard to find a decent job and something that you're experienced in. The older you get, the harder it is to pick up new skills. And when men and women get into their late 40s and 50s and 60s, you're kind of set in your ways. And you don't necessarily want to learn new job skills, even if you can. That's my point of view on, the workforce and learning new things and jobs. And so anyway, that's my impression of the economy. Looking down at my notes about the drink, I need to remember to stop back in to that Zoom, XOOM, gas station on Friday or Saturday, because that manager promised me she would order those drinks for me. I just mostly want to make her, let her know that I'm appreciative of her making that effort to order those drinks and see if she actually did. And because you don't get a lot of good customer service in these gas stations, especially for managers. And I think if I come back in there, she'll know that I was meaning to actually get those drinks and not just, bullshitting her. And if she has those drinks, I'll start getting my drinks there, because there's 3, just like at the other gas stations I've been to down here. Those they're also 3 for $7. So I don't see the harm in getting my drinks from there if they're available. I need to make a note I'll put a note in my cell phone to remind me to go to that gas station on Friday. I mentioned those calls I got. I also forgot to mention I got a text message from my landlord. I got 2 different text messages from my landlord. One was a group text about our trash again. He had texted us about almost not quite a week ago about setting our trash out on Fridays. I assumed that trash day was Friday at the house. Well, apparently trash day has moved to Monday now, because when I went out this morning, our trash can was back out to the street again, and it's full. It might just be one of my roommates put the trash out there because it's full and can't get any more in it, or maybe it's the trash day has moved. I'll have to find out from him. I don't particularly care to set the trash out, because I might be setting it out on the wrong day and make it difficult for one of my other roommates to get the trash out to the can. So it'd be best if I just left that for somebody else to do at the house. I don't have a whole lot of trash to put out anyway. I don't produce a lot of trash from the house because I'm not eating there. That alone reduces my the trash that I produce for the house. And I just generally don't consume much stuff, in terms of sundries and waste. And I don't bring anything into the house that I'll be throwing away. So aside from just the random can or papers that letters that I'm tearing up that I don't want to send out, I'm not producing a whole lot of trash anyway. The second text from him was about a bed that he's wanting to bring into my bedroom. I might have already mentioned this in one of the other videos, but he had texted me about a bed that he offered me to put in my bedroom. I told him I'd rather not have that bed in my room, because I prefer to sleep on a cot that I can fold up and keep in my car next time I move. And I just sleep better on that because of my back. I have back problems. And anytime I sleep on a softer surface, like a regular mattress or an air bed or something like this, my back problems are exacerbated. So I'm better off sleeping on a hard surface. Well, he might have, I think he texted me again about the mattress, because now it's in a different spot in the living room. He's kept moving it around, and he's probably wondering what he's going to do with it, because it's not going in my bedroom. He might end up offering it to that guy that's out of town right now, that I'm holding his mail for him. I haven't gotten any mail besides junk mail for him, but his driver's license is supposed to be coming in the mail. I need to really look out for that and hold it for him, and any other mail that's not junk mail. On to my Uber Eats deliveries. I didn't end up delivering anything on Sunday. I could have. I was down to just below a half a tank, and I could have driven about 40 or 50 miles, but I didn't. I had earned enough through the week, and I didn't want to risk being out somewhere and running out of gas, so I just decided to take Sunday off and relax, which I should have done something with my day yesterday, because it made for such a long day. And like I said, I struggled with my fast on account of me not having much to do. I should have went out to the library or something, or went up to a grocery store or went to the movies even. Something would have helped. But I made it through nonetheless. And then on Saturday, I did have quite a few deliveries, and I had a really good one. I had a double to Chikfila and IHOP. That paid me $13.56. And I didn't write down any other deliveries. I just wrote down my top one. And my customer service scores didn't change from Saturday through Monday morning. They're still still at 60 or 34% acceptance rate, and my deliver with care is still at 305. Quick and efficient is still at 263. Friendly is still at 262. Perfect handoff is 244, and good communicator 225. I meant to mention something else about the house. I was talking about my landlord. That roommate, as far as I can tell, has been out all weekend. I heard him a little bit Friday night or Saturday morning. It must have been Friday night. I heard him a little bit stirring around in his room, and he was there Saturday morning, at least early. He was in and out of the bathroom all night Friday night. I mean, he wasn't out of the bathroom less than 40 minutes to an hour. He was back in again, in and out. I don't know if he was having stomach problems or what, but he uses the bathroom far more than me, and I'm an older man, which what I mean by that is you get older. I don't have to tell most of you, but you use the bathroom more the older you get. It's just part of getting old. But he's a young man. I've seen him. I did lay my eyes on him recently. He was shaving in the bathroom, and he left the bathroom door open, and I kind of glanced over as I walked by, and he was shaving, and I could tell from his appearance he's most likely in his 20s. So at least I've laid my eyes on him, and he appears to be Hispanic. Even though his family and him were talking about halal foods, I don't think it has anything to do with his ethnicity. I'm not saying that right, but his ethnic background doesn't attribute to his favoring halal foods, which I knew that was probably the case. That could be the case, because I like halal foods too. There's a food truck back in Columbus that is called the Halal of New York that I love their food. I really wish they had more food trucks down here and halal foods and spicy chicken and lettuce, tomato, and onion and rice like they have there at that food truck. If I'm ever back in Columbus again, as a consequence of just my normal habits and things I need to do, I'll definitely have to visit that food truck. I won't make a trip there, of course, because that would be silly of me. But if I ever just happen to be back in Columbus organically, I'll certainly hit up that food truck again. I miss it. I mentioned the couple calls I got. I didn't mention who the second call was from, I don't think. My cousin back in Ohio had called me. I had already explained to her about my bus trip and all my plans that I have been solidified, because I know what date the family reunion is happening in August. But she wanted to just clarify that again with me. And she put me on the line with my third cousin. We talked a little bit, and I tried to be as hospitable and open to conversation as I could, but I wasn't the best. I'm not a good conversationalist and good communicator when I'm struggling with my fast. I tried to be as friendly as I could, but I couldn't really keep up a good conversation with her or with my friend that lives up in Houston. I did the best I could, but I explained to her that I was struggling a bit with my fasting, and I didn't really explain it to her further than that, but I just told her I was struggling with my fasting, and I just left it at that. Hopefully she understood why I wasn't being very talkative. A lot of times when I'm with her on the phone, I just talk her ear off, and I talk a good bit more than she does. And I end up cutting her off. You know, she'll go to say something and I'll cut her off, which is rude of me, but I just can't help it because I have so much to say, I guess. But she doesn't seem to mind because she calls me a good bit, which I appreciate that. I hope she's understanding of what I'm going through. She told me that when I mentioned I was struggling with my fasting, she told me that I should start eating something every day. I'm not in the mind frame to do that. I explained to her that if I were to eat something today, which was Sunday, that would screw up my whole fasting plan for the week. And when I eat something, if it's a smaller meal and it's got anything sweet in it, I'll just end up wanting something sweet. again in a few hours, and that's not going to suit my my weight loss goals and my needs for fasting and my needs for nutrition, which I don't, now that I think about it, I don't think I mentioned my weigh-in this morning. I'm glad I brought that conversation up about my cousin. This morning I weighed in at 142.2, which is a new low weight for me for June, which is good. That's 0.6 pounds less than the previous Monday. So I'm on track to be another pound down for this week. And I may not have any weigh-ins that are in the 150s based on the weight I scored this morning. So that's another new low potentially that I'll be able to celebrate by the end of the week. I'm hoping anyway, fingers crossed. Well, I did have a disappointment on Saturday. I had planned on doing my second plasma draw on Saturday, but I couldn't do it. My protein was too low. The plasma center requires your protein to be at 6.0 or greater, and there is an upper limit cutoff, but I'm not going to concern myself with that until that becomes a problem. My protein on Saturday morning when I went in there was 5.9, and I don't see how. I eat so much chicken and shrimp and a little bit of beef there at the buffet. I don't see how my protein could possibly be low, but it was, and they turned me down. My other scores were quite good. My blood pressure, this is from Saturday, my blood pressure was 108 over 71, in that ballpark. Both of them were low. They were below 120 over 80. My rested heart rate was at 53. My iron was fantastic. I don't remember the score, but she said your iron is quite good. My temperature was good. My weight was where I expected to be. Everything was fine, just protein. So my plan for this week, when I refeed today, Wednesday, and Friday, is to double my portion of shrimp. So that'll mean I'm not going to eat any more fried shrimp. I'm going to still just eat 3 or 4 pieces of fried shrimp. But I'm going to eat 2 cups of the regular shrimp, that's the ones that have the mixed vegetables in it, the peas and carrots. I'm going to double that up to 2 cups. And then I'm going to eat 10 skewers of their teriyaki chicken. When I first started going to the buffet, I was just eating 3 or 4 of the skewers of the teriyaki chicken. Then when I failed that protein test at the plasma center, I upped it to 5. So that was about a 50% increase. Well, I'm going to double it now to 10. I'm going to eat 10 skewers of the teriyaki chicken on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and we'll see how that impacts my protein. I'm hoping it does something for me because I have a couple things going against me with my protein. At least on Saturdays when I go in there. On Thursdays, I don't think I'll tend to have a problem because it had been so long since I'd done a plasma donation since the previous Saturday. So that's like 5 days. And I've got 2 buffets in my system, on Monday and Wednesday. So that's 2 things that I've gotten going good for me for the Thursday draw. Now, I can understand why I'm falling short on Saturday mornings because I had just done a plasma draw 2 days earlier, and I've only ate 1 buffet from the previous day on Friday. So my hope is that with these extra skewers and shrimp, extra skewers of teriyaki chicken and extra shrimp I'm getting in my system, that will be enough to offset the deficit of protein that I'm putting myself through the week. We'll see how it goes anyway. It doesn't seem to be hurting my my fasting and my weight loss goals. So I'm still dropping weight, and even though I'm eating more protein and meat. So that's a good thing, I guess. That's about it. I've got just over an hour, about an hour and 20 minutes before sun comes up down here. And then I'm going to get started get the week started with my Uber Eats deliveries. The Uber Eats app, the pay week runs Monday through Sunday. So this is the first day of the week for the Uber Eats earnings. So I'm going to do the best I can with that, get the week started right. And then after 11, I'm going to break my 72-hour fast at the buffet. And like I said, I'm going to load up on teriyaki chicken and meats, all the meat I can get, and seafood. I'll even probably get some more. The last couple times I've been going there, I haven't been getting any of the whitefish. I might get 2 or 3 fillets of their whitefish that they have up there. That'll bump up my protein. And I'll, of course, get all the regular stuff there. Their broccoli, a healthy portion of broccoli, a big portion of their string beans. I'm going to try to back off on their carbohydrates to save room for all the meat I'm getting in. And then once I have all the meat that I need to get in, those 10 skewers of chicken and the shrimp, then I might add in some rice if I feel like I have room. Get some fried rice in, lo mein noodles, cornbread, corn on the cob, General Tso's chicken. That's another protein source that I need to bump up. I need to eat more of the General Tso's chicken. And pizza. I'm going to get 3 or 4 slices of pizza. I'm not going to get any of that coconut chicken anymore. It's mostly just skin and sauce. There's very little meat in there, so I'm going to skip that altogether. It's occurred to me that I should skip their fried shrimp too, because there doesn't seem to be much seafood, shrimp in those fried shrimp compared to what I'm getting from the mixed vegetable plate of shrimp that I eat there. And then, of course, I'm going to move on to the fruit bar, where I get a whole plate of watermelon, probably the equivalent of 3 or 4 cups of watermelon at least, 2 or 3 oranges, and then a whole banana from the fruit bar. And then I'm going to move on to the ice cream and get a big scoop of ice cream. That's while I'm thinking of it, I'm hoping that the ice cream hasn't been too damaged from the power outage. It's been my experience that once ice cream melts and then refreezes, it's not the same. So that I'll find out today when I get my helping of my big helping of their chocolate chip ice cream, to see if if it tastes the same or it's just not as good. I'm going to eat it regardless, but like I had said before, they had suffered a power outage there at the buffet, and the ice cream was still soft. It hadn't hardened up yet that Friday when I went in. I'm assuming that's all fixed by now, hopefully, anyway. I'm going to get off here. I hope you all have had a super weekend like I did, and wish you all a great day, and God bless you. I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.